Abdusattorov and Rapport, and why to watch this game? Because I will show you how to play with bishop against knight. Let's watch these positions. Later on, you will see how bishop is going to play against knight. It's important to place bishop 2 squares in front of knight, and the rest is easy. And this game is going to be really important for everyone who is going to improve his chess, because that's exactly the textbook how to play with bishop against knight. So I hope that you are ready to watch this game since beginning till end, and you are ready to improve your chess, because this is a really important chess technique. So let's start and let's enjoy. My name is Petr Koutný and I'm going to show game Abdusattorov with white pieces and Rapport with black pieces. This game is coming from Uzbek Cup Masters 2025, and even opening is going to be really crazy. Don't worry, the main topic is absolutely the bishop against knight. So opening in this top level is sometimes too boring, too complicated, and sometimes it's exciting. So let's start. G4. Now Abdusattorov played move G4. Another way how to play this position is with move F5, but it's a question if here white has any chance for advantage. I believe that black should take bishop on b3, then b5, and why I decided to show this variation is this move knight b5. Of course, just to take this knight is a mistake, but looks nice and looks interesting how sidelines sometimes are going to be crazy. So maybe queen b8, knight a3 b5 and knight d5. Maybe in this variation it's a question, oh my god, what do you think, pawn on e4 is hanging? No, believe me, because here is a knight b5. And just imagine, in case take, and white is winning. So that was a funny, or say interesting variation what was not played. But let's come back, because Abdusattorov played move g4, and of course this move is a double edge, is a sharp, and of course black has to be careful. And if white is playing on the sides, is a good to play in the center, and for this reason d5 happened. I believe that move e5, another sideline, is still interesting. Say knight d7, queen f3, bishop b4, and maybe this position is still going to be double edge, where white is more active. Black has to defend his position, but black has interesting counter-attack. Maybe one day knight is jumping to c4. But okay, Abdusattorov decided to take on d5, and the rest seems to me like to be forced. Take on e6, b3, take, check, and now bishop e6. Maybe it was not bad to just to gamble a pawn and to play short castle. You know why? Just imagine that black is going to take on e6, and maybe white's king on f2 is in a danger too. So maybe not, but that's a question. But Abdusattorov decided to take with a bishop exchange for a second time, and here check on b2. White's king is going to f3, and that's a really interesting position. You know, looks like this king on f3 has not chance to survive. But now rook d8, queen c2, and finally we are in the endgame. I believe that the pawn formation favored white. You know, only 2 pawn islands against 3 pawn islands. And because of black's pawn weaknesses, that's a chance to believe that white has small edge. But of course, we are looking forward to see how white is going to play with bishop against knight. These 2 big heroes of these games are waiting for their show. So rook e1, maybe now it's a chance to exchange bishop on e3, but at the other side, this knight looks beautiful on d5. It's very hard to touch this knight, it's very hard to attack this knight, and of course, till this knight is sitting there, black has beautiful counter-attack. Just watch this position. Maybe now pawn on f4 used to be under attack, but after now rook c8 and exchange, bishop d4. The white's plan is to attack this pawn, and if this pawn is falling down or is exchanged, this knight is not super strong on d5, and step by step we are not far to watch how to play with bishop against knight. But it's important to undermine this knight. So maybe now rook c2, but I believe that that's a mistake because of rook e6 and rook d6, and yes, this knight is undermined, and that's something what black doesn't want to play. It's important for black to keep as long as possible this knight on d5, and it's important to secure this knight with a pawn. So for this reason, black played to f7 and now rook e5. It's nice to follow this game because it's clear what white is planning, what white is playing. Knight e7, rook c5, and after exchange on c5, finally we are in the endgame where slight edge belongs to white, because white is trying to prove that bishop is going to be stronger than knight. But of course, white has to prove his advantage. So firstly, he improved a king, and secondly, maybe he knows that has more space, stronger pawns, no weaknesses anywhere, and let's go on. Bishop b6 and h5. Exchange on h5 and f5. To take on f5, it's a mistake because black is losing pawn on h5, and believe me, the player who is going to lose a pawn as a first is going to lose this game. So black has to be careful, played knight e7 and take. Finally, let's start. Bishop f2 and bishop e1. First technique, how to play against a knight. This bishop is carefully looking to any chance where black knight has a chance to be improved. But now bishop d2. This technique is simple. It's good to place a bishop 2 squares in front or behind of the knight, and you can see now how this is powerful, because black's knight right now has no chance to go forward. Black's knight has no chance to attack white's pawns, and right now this bishop is superior than a knight. b5 and bishop a5. Again, it's important to place a bishop 2 squares in front of knight, and the same job. 2 squares in front of knight, and this bishop is going to look carefully to black's knight moves. Beautiful how Abdusattorov is playing this position. That's exactly what's going on, to prove that the bishop here is stronger than knight. Of course, still black has chances, but white improve on a king, and after knight c6, where do you think white's bishop is going? Of course, it's going to c3, and again. I believe that this game has a chance to learn us how to play such a typical positions. Bishop against knight. And here maybe before it's only one move to be played. Black played move a5, and that's a losing move because, as I told you, the player who is going to first lose a pawn is losing game before, and even this look like, yes, black has chance. Believe me, black is here without any chance because, as we understand, white's bishop is stronger than knight. So white is going to push his pawn, and the rest seems to me easy. The winning plan for white is to push a pass pawn to promote for a queen and win this endgame. This knight still is the biggest black's problem. So knight b1 maybe, but knight d2. This knight is too far, and in case this knight is going to be closer, look what's happened next. So here, take, and just to take this bishop, it's too late because one move, and the first queen is the winning queen, of course. And what's happened? a2, and a beautiful move here, bishop f6. Okay, now black resign it. Why? Because of course black should take this bishop, but h7, new queen, and a check, and white is winning this queen. I hope you enjoyed this game where we saw how to play with knight against a bishop, or how bishop used to be stronger and when a bishop used to be stronger than knight. It's good to remember this technique. It's good to use this technique in our chess games, and of course it's good to play chess. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if yes, feel free and press like or press follow, and made my day, and see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching, take care, and bye bye.